Hi, this is 72 Daystar, and I'm out walking around and still thinking on the same topic I was on last time, because I was watching a video from a guy named Quest for Joy. He's a Christian, and he was talking about faith and the difference between atheists and atheist skeptics. What other did he put into that bag? A few. He put in a few in that bag, and I thought that was one of the kind of the weaknesses of his position, is that he doesn't make it really clear who he's addressing until you read the description. It's only then that you realize that he's not just addressing all atheists and skeptics. He's addressing a very narrow group, and I'll get into that in just a moment. So my first contention is that he brings out the word faith, and as I've encountered before, there seems to be he doesn't make it clear. He says, yeah, everyone's got faith, and this is this attempt again to level the playing field between atheists and theists, and saying that atheists have faith as well. And what's their faith in? Their faith is in, he says, that all causes are a natural cause. Now, I'm guessing he means material cause, because that's what I was used to, and that's what I would have used to refer to that sort of cause. Excuse me, I had to brush a bug off my head. So my first problem was that he talks about faith, but he doesn't make any distinction between the faith that one would have in a trusted friend and the faith that someone has in God. Though later he does mention that his knowledge of God is based on faith, and he holds that up as superior to a knowledge that's based on reason. Now, I agree, if you just use reason alone, you can get into some trouble, because reason, well, you can have logical paradoxes, right? You know, if Pinocchio says that my nose will grow, if that's true, his nose won't grow. But if it's false, it should grow. That's kind of one of the funny ones. There are numerous ones like that. But just where following the chain of logic can get you into trouble and kind of goes off the rails at times. Now, sometimes it's because there's a false assumption or there's a sort of latent fallacy in there. But the point to be made, if you're only going on reason alone, you're subject to that, and you're bound to make mistakes like that. So the other part of the formula that most skeptics would want to include is not that they would never make the claim that reason is ultimate, and that's what he suggests is done. And I don't know any atheists. I know quite a few atheists, but I don't know any atheists who make that claim. But they would say that reason coupled with evidence is the best way we have of saying we know something. And when we do say we know something, we're not making a claim to absolute certainty. And that's sort of why I felt that there was a lot of straw manning going on. And it's only in his description where he makes the distinction between philosophical naturalism and methodological naturalism. There's a great difference in that, because most of the people who were the founders of science were Christians. So philosophically, they were supernaturalists. They believed in God, and presumably Jesus, etc. And yet, methodologically, when they're in the lab or out in the field, they applied methodological naturalism. That is, they looked for objective, observable evidence, ones that they could examine, measure, and confirm, and demonstrate to others. So that was another serious problem with Quest for Joy's video. In the end, he makes the often said claim that there has to be a first cause, and that first cause must be God. Now, let's grant him the first one and examine the second. If there is a first cause to the universe, that is, you go back and back and back and back, and say the Big Bang, and then you say, what caused the Big Bang? Well, it must be something that's uncaused. This is the position that they take in this. Let's grant that for the moment. So there's something that caused the universe. So, well, what is it? Why do we have to assume that it's the Semitic Bronze Age god Yahweh? Why couldn't it be Marduk and Tiamat? Why couldn't it have been the Titans? Why couldn't it have been whatever other creation myth you want to cite? There's no really reason to believe that it's Yahweh. So that's a huge, huge non sequitur. Now, if we examine the first cause argument, well, you still have a problem, because why, if all things are caused, why is God not subject to that same logic? That is, what caused God? And if you say, well, he's not the sort of thing that is caused, you're making the fallacy of special pleading, that he's not subject to the same reason. Christians love to point out or claim that atheists are making claims that something comes out of nothing, and yet that's just what he does. My position is this: I don't know, and until there's evidence to indicate otherwise, I'll maintain that rather admittedly uncomfortable position, but I think it's the honest position, and in the end I think it's the most reasonable position.